Breaking tonight, new reaction to Trump's immigration policy speech, and specifically what he had to say about how illegal immigration impacts some of America's most vulnerable workers, Hispanics and African Americans. Listen.
We have to listen to the concerns that working people, our forgotten working people, have over the record pace of immigration and its impact on their jobs, wages, housing, schools, tax bills, and general living conditions. These are valid concerns expressed by decent and patriotic citizens. Hillary Clinton has pledged amnesty in her first 100 days. And her plan will provide Obamacare, Social Security, and Medicare for illegal immigrants, breaking the federal budget. On top of that, she promises uncontrolled, low-skilled immigration that continues to reduce jobs and wages for American workers, and especially for African American and Hispanic workers within our country, our citizens.
A fair and balanced panel joining us now. Jose Vargas, editor of #EmergingUS and founder of DefineAmerican.com. Ileana Garcia, founder of Latinas for Trump. And Juan Antonio Hernandez, a Latino Trump supporter and a Log Cabin Republicans member as well. Welcome to all of you. Jose, hi. I'm going to start with you. You look very unhappy. I saw some head shaking during the sound bites. Was there anything in this speech tonight that worked for you? You're almost speechless, which I feel like I would never see that.
Well, you know, actually, here's what I do agree with Donald Trump on. We have to be honest with the American people and the American workers who are suffering, absolutely suffering. But here's the reality, right? Donald Trump himself has said, as recently as 3 years ago, that he has hired undocumented workers to work on his properties. So when he says that politicians and special interests and donors have benefited from illegal immigration, he himself has benefited from undocumented workers, right? I mean, there was just a report a couple of days ago about the undocumented and unauthorized models under the Trump modeling agency that we haven't even talked about. What was really astounding to me about the speech tonight was the lack of facts when it comes to this issue. Now, mind you, it makes it sound as if all undocumented people are crossing over from Mexico. The fastest growing undocumented population in this country are Asian people. And talk about black, by the way, there are 600,000 black undocumented immigrants in this country from Africa and from the Caribbean. They're hurting too,
I think that part of what he was saying is that people from all different nationalities are coming here illegally through Mexico. It's just it makes sense logistically for them to come across the southern border. He talked about Syria. He talked about other countries. Yeah, I'm just saying, he said that there are all kinds of different nationalities. He wasn't just standing up there giving a speech saying all people coming here illegally from Mexico are Mexicans.
And by the way, and here's the other thing, right? 1.8 million undocumented people in the state of Texas, 2.3 million undocumented people in the state of California. What would happen to the economy of this country without undocumented workers? Who would have built Donald Trump's properties without undocumented workers?
He didn't say anything about getting all those people out of the country. He said we got to work on enforcing the borders and do those kinds of things. Ileana, what did you think of the speech tonight? It was punctuated by stories about people who've lost family members, who have been injured or murdered by those who were in this country illegally at the time of the crimes. I mean, that's a very powerful optical message to have mothers and cousins and wives of people standing there telling their stories.
Definitely so. And first and foremost, I'd like to remind everyone that we're all Americans first. Unfortunately, when they do the breakdown, they have to divide us amongst ethnicity. But I'd like to ask Jose, since when do 11 million undocumented people become a priority in this country? How is it that the American citizen, law-abiding citizen, tax-paying citizen is not a priority in this country? When you don't pay taxes, you get fined, you get embargoed. When you don't pay a traffic ticket, you get fined, you get in trouble. When you get a DUI, you go to jail. So how is it that all of a sudden these statistics are the ones that are giving forth to to this country, and I don't know. I've heard Jose on other channels with the same rhetoric over and over and over again. And basically, we need to move away from what he was 3 years ago as a businessman. We're here in the present. We're working on the now. We're becoming proactive. We're moving towards the future as Americans first, and then everything else second and third. Because thanks to this country, we can speak other languages. We can do other things. My family comes from a totalitarian, oppressed country. We leave for political reasons, not for anything else other than that. So we need to move away from 3 years ago, because if that's the fact, if those are the facts, then Mrs. Hillary Clinton will never be able to get rid of her scandals that each and every day are more and more present.
And we're seeing some impact of that in the polling, where when there are questions about emails and Clinton Foundation. That's a whole nother segment. But Juan, I want to make sure that we get you in here to speak out as well, because you know, you're not the most likely Trump supporter, but for some reason he's won you over. Tell us why, and did the speech tonight solidify that for you or raise new questions?
The speech has definitely solidified it. You know, seeing him stand up there, you know, standing when he was talking with the Mexican president, and then when he was doing his speech later on, like, he looked presidential up there. Like, looking at him, I feel like I can count on that guy. Like, I can count on him, and I can be cool with that. Hillary, I can look at her, and I'm not okay with that. Like, I won't be able to relax. And so him having the... He's not against the Mexican people. You know, he's against the illegal immigration. He's not against the Mexican people. In fact, in his speech, he was talking about how wonderful the people are. And we need to put the Americans first. We need to. I work in the government, and I see the undocumented, the illegals here taking the services. And I know a lot of Mexicans who are here legally, who went through the process, and they have resentment against, because they did what they had to do to become legal citizens. But yet, the illegals come over here and they get a free ride for right now. You know, they get it to depend on the government system, and so they have that resentment too. So it's not, the Latino movement is moving, you know, for Trump, and I think the America needs to see that.
Jose, I know that you want to say something. We only have a few seconds left, so make it quick.
We really need to talk about facts. As an undocumented worker, I am not entitled to Social Security, although I've contributed thousands of dollars in it. I pay taxes, and I've been paying since I was 18 years old. We contribute to the economy of this country.
I think there's factual information to show also that there are a lot of community services that are paid out to people who are here illegally, who may not have contributed the way that you have. That's factual as well.
But billions of dollars have been contributed.
It's about accountability and security is what it is.
All right, we're going to leave it there.
Absolutely.
Great to see all of you, Jose, Eliana.
Thank you so much.
Juan, thank you for your time tonight. Thanks for joining us. Right at the top of the hour, we mentioned how Trump is taking fire from the Clinton campaign over some of the changes he wants to our immigration laws. We're going to show you what's causing the most uproar. That's next.
Countless Americans who have died in recent years would be alive today if not for the open border policies of this administration, and the administration that causes this horrible, horrible thought process. It's called Hillary Clinton.